are moving to the second part in this chapter, which is reading. As you know that reading is one of the important skills in learning a language. So let's enjoy now one of my students reading chapters 9 comprehension titled Time Management. Okay, Natalia, would you please start?
Reading comprehension, time management. Pre-reading warm-up questions. Do you have problems managing your time? Can you do more than one thing at the same time? Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have enough time to do everything that they want to, whereas others are always rushing from task to task and never seem to finish anything? Is it just that the former has less to do? No, it's much more likely that they are using their time more effectively and practicing good time management skills. Time management is not very difficult as a concept, but it's surprisingly hard to do in practice. It requires the investment of a little time upfront to prioritize and organize yourself. The key to good time management: understanding the difference between urgent and important. Urgent tasks demand your immediate attention, but whether you actually give them that attention may or may not matter. Important tasks matter, and not doing them may have serious consequences for you or others. For example, answering the phone is urgent. If you don't do it, the caller will ring off, and you won't know why they called. It may, however, be an automated voice telling you that you may be eligible for a compensation for having been missold insurance. That's not important. Going to the dentist regularly is important, or so we're told. If you don't, you may get gum disease or other problems, but it's not urgent. If you leave it too long, however, it may become urgent because you may get toothache. Picking your children up from school is both urgent and important. If you are not there at the right time, they will wait in the playground or the classroom worrying about where you are. Reading funny emails or checking Facebook is neither urgent nor important. This distinction between urgent and important is the key to prioritizing your time and your workload, whether at work or at home. Remember too that you and your health are important. Just because you have lots to do doesn't mean that doing some exercise, going for a 10-minute walk, or making time to eat properly is not important. You shouldn't ignore your physical or mental health in favor of more urgent activities. Further principles of good time management. Keep tidy. For some of us, clutter can be both a real distraction and genuinely depressing. Tidying up can improve both self-esteem and motivation. You will also find it easier to stay on top of things if your workspace is tidy. If you have a system where everything is stuck on the fridge or notice board pending action, then take off anything that doesn't need action and or has been dealt with. That way you'll be able to see at a glance what needs doing and you'll be less likely to miss anything. Pick your moment. All of us have times of day that we work better. It's best to schedule the difficult tasks for those times. However, you also need to schedule in things that need doing at particular times, like meetings or a trip to the post office. Another useful option is to have a list of important but non-urgent small tasks that can be done in that odd 10 minutes between meetings. Might it be the ideal time to send that email confirming your holiday dates? Don't procrastinate, but do ask why you're tempted. If a task is genuinely urgent and important, get on with it. If, however, you find yourself making excuses about not doing something, ask yourself why. You may be doubtful about whether you should be doing the task at all. Perhaps you're concerned about the ethics, or you don't think it's the best option. If so, you may find that others agree. Talk it over with colleagues or your manager if at work, and family or friends at home, and see if there's an alternative that might be better. Don't try to multitask. Generally, people aren't very good at multitasking because it takes our brains time to refocus. It's much better to finish off one job before moving on to another. If you do have to do lots of different tasks, try to group them together and do similar tasks consecutively. Stay calm and keep things in perspective. Perhaps the most important thing to remember is to stay calm. Feeling overwhelmed by too many tasks can be very stressful. Remember that the world will probably not end if you fail to achieve your last task of the day or leave it until tomorrow, especially if you have prioritized sensibly. Going home or getting an early night so that you are fit for tomorrow may be a much better option than meeting a self-imposed or external deadline that may not even matter that much. Take a moment to pause and get your life and priorities into perspective, and you may find that the view changes quite substantially.
Okay, very good, Natalia. Now let's go to the questions. We are going to discuss the questions together. Would you please read the first question?
Okay. Why do some people seem to have enough time to do everything that they want to, whereas others are always rushing from task to task and never seem to finish anything?
So what do you think the answer for this question? Some people seem to have enough time to do everything, but others, they are always rushing from task to task, never seem to finish anything.
Well, I think because it all depends about time management and people using their time more effectively and practicing good time management skills is what differs the most.
Okay, so the point is in understanding or practicing the skill of time management. It's a skill.
Yeah.
Okay,
I guess so.
Second question, what is that is so difficult about time management? Is time management difficult?
I think from the passage it shows that it's not that difficult as a concept, but it's hard to do in practice. So I guess that's the essence of it being hard.
I might agree with you, but there is another point mentioned in the passage. The point is people don't really understand the difference between what is urgent and what's important. Maybe we need to practice and to have some skills in differentiating between what is important and what is urgent.
I can't agree more.
Okay. Third question, may you give some examples to show the difference between urgent and important tasks? We are just saying these things.
I mean, if the doorbell rang, is this an urgent or an important task? Or both?
It is
Urgent?
urgent because you have to go and to see who is knocking at the door.
Yeah.
And whether it's important or not important, we have to wait and see who is knocking at the door. But the vivid example is when you go to check your teeth regularly. This is, of course, important or urgent.
It's important.
It is important.
Yeah.
So long as you don't have a toothache.
Yeah.
But if you have a toothache, in this
Important
case, it
and
will be urgent and important.
Yeah.
Mind you that there are some tasks that are neither important nor urgent.
True that.
Okay, next question. What is the importance of exercising in any time management program? Exercising means practicing sports, going to the gym, making workouts.
Yeah, well, I think physical and mental health they're both important for your brain to function in a proper way.
Have you heard about the English proverb which says the sound mind is in the sound body?
Yeah.
So you have to have a good body in order to have a good mind. So exercising helps the people to get rid of the negative energy that is inside them. So when they do something, they will do it enthusiastically and actively. Okay, let's move to the other question. How can keeping tidy help one effectively manage one's time? Keeping tidy help one effectively manage one's time.
Well, just like the passage said, that clutter can be both a real distraction and genuinely depressing. So I think if we keep ourselves tidy, it would give the opposite result. I mean, it won't be that I don't know, depressing, and maybe be more creative with your work more productive.
Okay, I don't know if you might have heard about the sentence that says you get what you see and you see what you get. So if you are staying in a place that is full of trash and it's not tidy and it's not clean, this is what you see. And then you have the impression that it doesn't matter whether you are trying to keep it clean or not. But if you are in a place that is extraordinarily clean and tidy, the appearance of these things will make you think in a similar way.
Don't you think it might suffocate you?
It's not a matter of suffocation, but it's a matter of keeping you in the same mood of the environment. Anyway,
It's relative.
let's move to the next question. What is meant by pick your moment strategy? Pick your moment. Are you a morning person or a night person or evening person?
I am a very extremely morning or extremely late. Extremely early at the morning or extremely late.
So this is the best time you can achieve things.
Yeah, my brain functions better at these times.
So I think...
What about you?
Yeah, I'm a night person.
Really?
Yeah, I like to finish my work at night because everything is silent and there is serenity and nobody is bothering you. So in order to answer this question, it means that you have to discover yourself first.
Yeah.
What is the best time for you that makes you or gives you the optimum performance? So pick your moment. It means choose the right time to do your things. What's the danger of procrastinating?
Oh boy.
Procrastination and procrastinating means to put off things that you should do today and you delay them till
That's the
tomorrow.
most dangerous thing ever.
Yeah, people like to delay and put off and delegate.
Yes. And we fall for it. I even fall for it.
Yeah, of course, but it needs practice. Practice makes perfect. So, in order to answer this question, when you procrastinate things, you don't have your goals achieved on the right time.
Yeah.
So it keeps you late.
And you become a little bit depressed.
Of course, if you don't achieve your goals, you will feel depressed and under stress, and you don't feel happy, and the people are running, but you are not keeping up with them.
True.
So it's a bad thing. Are you that type of person that can accomplish many tasks at one time?
Sometimes, yes, I can do that, but sometimes it's really hard to do so.
Yeah, I think we have to be more focused because, in Arabic they say, أبوالين كتاب وبطريقة منافق. So you have to stick to one thing, finish it, and then move to another goal.
But there are people who are
Some people are talented,
yeah.
yes, and they are gifted. So, but this is exception.
It's not an exception. I think it depends on the tasks. I mean, if the tasks need a lot of focus, then yeah, you should do one thing at a time. But if they're just like for instance, cooking and dancing, for instance.
Cooking and dancing?
Yes, it's like they get along together, or maybe cooking and washing dishes, or maybe waiting for something to be baked and you're washing dishes. So I think you can multitask if things don't need that much of attention or focus.
Yeah, I agree with you, but let me differentiate between two activities. We have receptive activities and productive activities. So if you are listening to music, for example, this is a receptive. You are passive and you're just listening. So you don't produce something. But if you are cooking, for example, this is a productive. You produce something. So I think that you can make 2 or 3 things. It depends on the nature of the activity you are doing. If you are producing something,
I'm dancing.
Dancing you are producing.
Yeah.
This is a productive
Dancing
activity.
and cooking.
And cooking is also a productive.
Yeah.
2 productive activities at the same time may affect each other. But if you are cooking and listening to music or watching or following up the news on the TV, it might be easy. Anyway, let's move to the second question. What's meant by stay calm strategy? Stay calm.
I think when you have a lot of tasks that you need to accomplish, you feel very stressful and you feel just overwhelmed by the number of tasks you have. And I think by this strategy, the stay calm strategy, they just approaching the tranquility attitude, trying to tell you that it's okay if you have a lot of things. You just have to be to stay calm in order to finish these things, in order to even accomplish, in order for your brain to function in a proper way. So I guess that's what I understand from it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Some people get panic, and when somebody gets panic, he doesn't know what to do. So the best thing is to stay calm and don't act under pressure or under stress, because in this case you won't be able to do anything. So the best advice for the students or for the people in general is to be quiet and stay calm and not to act when they are angry or under pressure. Can you suggest other strategies for effective time management? Other strategies for effective time management. I think there is a big difference, a world of differences between knowledge and applying knowledge. Sometimes we know the rules, just knowing them, but we don't apply them. So I think one strategy is to apply what you have learned. Because some people know that smoking is dangerous. They know quite well, but they don't apply this, so they are still smoking. So I believe in the proverb which says applying knowledge is power, not knowledge itself. Don't you agree with me?
Couldn't agree more. Also, I think that, but it's kind of subdivided from the stay calm strategy. I think that if you try these different strategies all at once, I think things gonna be so messy and you might fail in everything and you just feel that everything's going.
So you mean practicing one strategy
at a time? Yeah, and if it doesn't work, I mean it's all about try and error. So you just give yourself some time and you just smooth things out. I don't know.
Okay. You mean that we have to practice one skill?
One strategy at a time and give ourselves the time.
Yeah, and then try another one. But if we try all of them at the same time, of course, it will be so difficult, you cannot achieve anything.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Natalia. It has been a pleasure having you in this session. And see you on another chapter. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.